no.
What was that? Is it okay, Holly?
No.
Welcome to the New Labs YouTube channel. Before we begin, make sure you subscribe for the chance to win the most exciting prize in Spitfire Audio's history.
Here is a film. Here it is again. Nothing has changed on screen, save the music playing behind it, the mood it creates, and how it has made you feel. Right back to the very earliest of cave paintings, we have used art to tell stories. We tell stories to learn from one another, hopefully so future generations don't make the same mistakes we did. And the reason we use art to help tell these stories is to help people feel, whether it be the sadness, the happiness, the scariness, the pit of our stomach, the back of our throats, the hair on our neck, or the sweat in our palms. These sensations help us empathise and teach us how to be better at being humans. In this film, the Labs team is going to travel to Glasgow in Scotland to understand how a simple set of notes can be interpreted by me, a cellist, to create different moods. To understand how by using only some wood, horsehair and catgut, you can convey an emotion to a total stranger. When making music, and without even considering words or lyrics, we have an infinite number of choices. But without the notes, we have no music. Try singing these 3 notes. Now try singing these 3 notes. So the second is more difficult, right? Which is why to us, these notes seem less certain, less comfortable, less happy, compared to these. The notes you have composed are the black and white outlines of music. Instruments provide the colour. And the instruments that can do stuff that our voices do tend to be our most emotional instruments. It's something to do with our mums and dads and grandparents singing to us when we were young. But we also have instruments that can be alarming, scary, and odd. And then there are instruments that culturally have a connotation, a connection. Celestes are for wizards. These notes are meant to be a fanfare, but when played by a trumpet and not a clarinet, it is more recognisable to us. And these notes have a slightly more silly, comical feel when played on a bassoon. So, you have your notes, your instrument. Next up is place. Perhaps you wouldn't associate place with emotion, but compare this singer singing in a small room.
What they mean for our salvation, a little close.
With him put artificially in a big room.
This is a waltz thinking about our bodies. What they
How does it make you feel? Is what he is singing more important, more grave, more awesome? And it's not just how a place makes something sound either. It actually affects how the player plays. The place amplifies us, just as an electric amp takes this and makes this. Other than the notes you have picked, the most effect you can have on your listener's mood is the player and the performance. And that is what we're going to investigate in Glasgow today. We've asked composer Supremo, Hume Schmitz, to write an innocuous piece of music to a short excerpt and then workshop with myself, Alice Allen, to see if we can create different moods, feelings and emotions based solely on my interpretation. We'll also see how the Labs team and myself made the free sample pack cello moods. But first, breakfast.
1 second, how many lattes? Just one? Yeah.
Should we
Can
just
I have
get
2 lattes, please?
3 lattes, can we?
3 lattes.
3 lattes.
Can I please have 3 lattes, sorry? Yep.
Can I just get a black coffee?
1 black Americano.
I'll have one of those.
Yep. a second black Americano.
Oh my, can I get a bacon and egg McMuffin and 2 hash browns, please?
Say what? Can I have a bacon, egg,
McMuffin
McMuffin.
with 2 hash browns
Yeah,
and
with 2 hash browns, please.
3 times.
Times 3.
Is that everything? Homai, what are you having?
I'm having a latte. So. Can I add some extra hash browns?
Oh, homai, lots of ketchup sachets as well.
Sorry?
Ketchup sachets, lots of ketchup.
Can we have also lots of ketchup sachets? Thanks. Thank you so much for your patience.
Oh no!
What was that?
God damn it.
Is it okay, homai?
There's that TV show like Drunk History. We do, like drunk recording.
Oh yeah.
Here's the same passage played after 6 gin and tonics.
Totally. We said that, didn't we? Like before, during, and after.
Drunken strings. So yeah, for today. Already feels so.
No, well, yeah, I'm just doing this, like the establishing shot of her in the room.
Okay, then everyone needs to be.
Well, yeah, I mean, a bit back, yeah.
So yeah, we kind of have this 15-second clip of this girl riding her bike through the neighborhood, and it's just a little score over here, just a few bars with this very simple melody. But what I wanted to try out is basically use the same melody, but trying to change the mood.
Cool.
By just giving it maybe a different storyline in the background of the kid on the bike. And just see how this can actually transform through your performance and obviously your input and feel to it.
Cool.
And I think that's going to be really beautiful.
What are you saying, Robbie?
It's filming you, innit?
What was it hit in there?
You've got your right hand and your left hand, which is how you're translating what you're feeling. And within that, your left hand's got ways of expressing things through vibrato, basically, and different speeds and different pressures. And then in the right hand, you've got the option of where you're playing with the bow. So there's all these options between the fingerboard and the bridge. And then you've got speed of bow, which can create lots of interesting colours. And then you've got the pressure as well. So like there's all these different variables, and you can combine them in whatever way you want.
You need that bit, yeah. And is that a cable that goes with that?
Are we rolling? Yeah, okay, cool. Just randomly waving. Hello.
Hi.
All settled in?
Yeah, all good, thanks.
Lovely. All right, so I have purposefully not included any dynamic markings before we're going into any of the moods that we discussed earlier. Just for you to just play it through. Perfect. However you think. Yeah. I might not even have any click to that, just sort of as you see fit, whatever you see there. Cool. That's really lovely without any instructions. I thought the first one we could maybe try is the going for a haunting one.
Yeah, cool.
So for haunting, I was using quite a sparse kind of sound and something that didn't feel warm, and that way of being expressive where you actually kind of take expression out. So with the left hand, pretty minimal, unless I wanted to bring out some of the overtones in this kind of soul pont world. Mm-hmm. And I was playing up near the bridge to give it that kind of like glassy, ghostly sort of sound. So rather than just being there, I was taking it up to the bridge, and that's the fancy way of saying that is soul pont. But it's basically just playing on the bridge where there's loads of tension in the string. If you just do it by itself and keep this hand really, still, you're gonna get you can get so many different colours, and it brings out harmonics in the string. If you use a little bit of something here, you can play with those harmonics, and you get different sort of frequencies coming out in the sound. So you're almost not getting the fundamental note, which would be there. You're getting all these strange kind of textures, and that stuff is slightly like beat out of you. But it's not. I don't personally think it's particularly. It's not very creative. It's more like robotic that you're learning to be the same.
I just wanted to try something out and see if there's any sort of the notes. If there's any intervals that you could create by maybe hanging on to one of the notes onto the next, if that makes sense.
Yeah, totally.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. I love that. That was really, really, really haunting.
When you're sort of playing down at the lower end of the instrument, your maximum hand spread is basically an octave. You can go further if you've got really big hands, but yeah, octaves. And depending what you're writing, what can be quite fun is if you know what the open strings are. So, for example, I've got an open D. It's really easy to combine that open D with anything up the G string and anything up the A string. So if you're writing double stops, that can be a kind of great way to explore. Or you could do it on the string above. And I think for this, straight away I kind of thought, I'll put the open D in with that C sharp for that real tense clash. And then I use my open strings again for the next bar. And then kept it ringing. So you're going to get, well, we got a seventh and then we got a fourth. And yeah, so open strings can be a really cool way to basically quickly add in drone sounds.
Okay. My lips are so dry for some reason.
So the girl's been playing outside, riding her bicycle, and she actually discovered a certain place, maybe a cave or something. She went in there, and then she comes out transformed, but we don't quite know what she saw, what happened, but you know there's something different about her. So she's now cycling back, almost with a different soul or a strange soul in her.
Emotion is such an untangible thing, isn't it? And you can't really sort of say, oh, well, that's love and that's fear. But your body, if you shut your eyes and think of like the scariest thing that's ever happened to you, you probably start to get sweaty palms and you'll get a tight stomach, even though you're not there. Your body will feel it. Or equally, if you shut your eyes and think of the best time of your life, you'll probably relax and your breathing will be slower. And I think that emotion is totally in your body. So if I'm thinking of something that freaks me out or terrifies me, then my hands will do it, and your body will respond. Or at least that's, in my opinion, that's our job as musicians, is to be a really open channel to let those things kind of come through. And I think, you know, making these sample sounds today and on the other day is really tiring, because you're constantly trying to put, whether it's tension or fear or whatever, I've been really trying to like absolutely sort of truthfully feel those things as I play every note. I think it's quite draining in a way, because you're really trying to just
there's this level of emotional engagement that really kind of just comes through and gives the whole thing a lot more context. And there's a reaction to those emotions that you live out physically as well on the instruments.
Yeah. It's like a really intense scene in a film where, you know, someone's hanging off a cliff, whatever.
Yeah.
But in the actual room, it's just like a guy on like a soft matte, like, you know what I mean, in like a lime green room.
Yeah.
I do find it hard to imagine how you would like emotionally get into that space when you're just in like a lime green.
Like wolves, and it's just like a green sock.
Yeah.
For the joy one,
Yeah.
I don't know if it's cheating, but I could do some, like, chopping would make that definitely joyful. But I don't know if that's cheating because it would add extra stuff.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Shall I
like the
try
more
it?
extra. Yeah, that would be great.
Okay.
I would love to hear how
Cool,
it sounds
let's
with
do
the
that.
chopping.
Cool.
Amazing. That adds so much to it.
Cool.
Really great. Can you show me again how you did that?
Sure. So this is a super rhythmic way of playing, and it's something that you would actually often use accompanying like dance tunes and things. So it gives things a real lift, and yeah, you can't sort of chop and look angry because it's such a fun thing to do. But you're basically just gonna you use a little bit of a technique where you slide down the string with the bow instead of using horizontal movements. So I think what we ended up with was something like. So it's kind of using what you've given me in the melody as my bass notes, and I know we're in A major, so I'm just adding in some extra little chordy things to keep it major and lifted, and yeah, obviously the rhythm.
So our conclusion is that whilst you can take just one set of notes and play them differently to try and change a mood or feeling, that it's very much picking the right notes, the right instrument, player and place, and all of these things combine with some spot effects, some atmosphere, and a moody grade to help tell the story as best we can. Alongside this experiment, the team and I have created a sample instrument that harnesses my true feelings, emotions, and moods for you to use in your music. And because life shouldn't be complicated, it simply plays out of the box, no matter what your talent or experience, and it's free.
Ready?
Thank you.
Good to see you all. Take care.
Till next time.
Yeah, till the next time.
See ya. Just one chance.